Well, great balls of fire, Bubba. What happened, Buford? That crazy son of a Sal blew right through that four-way stop on Main Street and plowed into my cowboy Cadillac.
Your what?
My pickup truck. And I'm pretty sure my leg is broken, Ted.
Oh, quit your bitching, Buford, and talk with those side busters at the Advocates Law Firm. When I got busted up last month, well, shoot, they made sure those snakes at the insurance company played fair.
Boy, howdy. Even that creepy so-and-so Kyle earned his keep.
So if you get injured, the advocates get results. AdvocatesLaw.com.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Our question, what is the craziest crash you've been in or witnessed? And here come those emails from the men's room at KISW.com.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
Come on from our question today. Hello, gentlemen. My first ship in the Navy was the USS Midway, and our home port was Yokosuka, Japan. One day during my first Indian Ocean cruise, I was tasked with cleaning a space behind the chart house that you could only get to using an outside deck. I'd finished sweeping, mopping the floor, had to go back to the chart house for brass polish, and saw an F-15 was hooked up to the starboard catapult. So I decided to rest for a few seconds and watch it launch. Plane was about halfway down the catapult when its starboard engine flamed out and died. Instead of going down after going off the deck, it quickly came back up. It kept slowly going down while drifting to the right. About 20 feet before the wheels touched the water, the pilot was able to eject safely. I got to the starboard bridge wing in time to see the plane slowly sinking and thought, well, there goes $40 million. Cheers, guys. That's from Sailor Jeff. Holy, you glorious bastards. I was living in Daytona Beach, Florida, going to motorcycle school, hanging out, having a couple drinks with my roommates at a place called the Cruisin' Cafe, right on A1A and Main Street downtown, where Bike Week happens. Late at night, motorcycle was heading southbound and tried to run the red light, and it clipped the front fender of a small car. Now, I was standing outside, almost on the sidewalk, where they have outdoor seating, and there's an opening with no gate or anything. Next thing I know, my buddy grabs my collar like he's about ready to get into a fight with me, and he pulls me as hard as he can and throws me right behind him as I hear a loud revving noise and a loud crashing sound about 3 feet behind me. Turns out the motorcycle spun through and slammed into the side of the restaurant, and if my buddy hadn't pulled me out of the way, it would have hit me directly, doing about 50 miles an hour.
Damn.
I was friends with the bartender. We went the next day to the hospital to find out that he arrived as a John Doe. Makes you count your lucky stars. Stay classy, guys. That from Andy. All right, let's move on to the birthdays. Ola Pacholas. Today is my son Shane's 27th trip around the sun. He's become such a great man, and we couldn't be prouder of him. So can he get an OG fish sandwich and some dirty Germans talking about what to expect at a Japanese steakhouse? Enjoy your dinner, son, and stay fresh, my friends. That from Jeff and from Kimmy.
Do I get a fish sandwich?
Yeah, more than likely the thing you can expect at the Japanese steakhouse is, I don't know, Japanese steak. Get your mind out of the gutter. What are you doing? It is a family environment, social seating. So
Yeah.
Put your hands on the table and have finger play.
Yeah, I think it's the thing that's going to blow away your son is when he sees the amazing mouse skills on your mother.
I did not know she can catch it from so far away.
Yeah, so they're going to flip that shrimp up and she's going to get it. No teeth, but it'll be digested.
She'll be like, try it with just the egg white. I'll surprise you.
Yeah, so it leaves the tails on. Just sucks them out.
Afternoon, guys. Want to give a big birthday shout out to Rodney Ruggenberg today. All around great guy, husband, dad, brother. Love you, Rodney. How about what the hell is that, bro? Your penis is too small. And Coach Ted on the upcoming fishing season. Thanks, guys. That from the Elk Plain Drifter.
Oh my God! What the is that, bro?
Fishing season's coming up. So you know what that means. Probably not sunshine. It's the Pacific Northwest, but it does mean early mornings. Now remember, you can look at reports and see those stocked lakes, or you can go somewhere else and try your luck. But either way, there's a reason they don't call it catching. Get out there and have some fun.
Fellas, 100% sure my wife won't do this, so flying solo again for my 54th. Can I get a happy Chinooka? And you guys talking all over yourselves about how much better Air Force pilots are compared to Navy Marine Corps pilots. Cheers, boys. That from Pete, the former Pave Low guy. A fun fact, in the military helicopter world, Mother Rucker refers to Fort Rucker, Alabama. All the United States Air Force and Army pilots go there to train. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Happy Chinooka.
I
think it depends on what you're into.
Sure, but I can tell you right now, I'm also in the Air Force, and I get a lot of people comfortable as a freaking Top Gun.
Flying all the equipment around, which is pretty cool.
You can fly better than me.
To me,
I can fly, homie. It's all about landing. If you can land, you're good enough to me.
All right, guys, here you go. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Ya's a Dirty Germans brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's world famous sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Thank you, Bob. A couple extra emails, guys. Ted, this one's for you.
Hit me.
My daughter is looking at going to Epcot, and they want to drink around the world and do other things at Disney World. Can you tell me about drinks around the world? Is it worth it? How many days do you need to spend at Epcot? This is for her spring break. So any ideas for her in Florida? Thanks, guys. That's from Dave.
Yeah, here's the deal. Drinking around the world, so I was telling you yesterday, I was kind of laughing. Like, it is not a Disney-sanctioned thing. Like, a lot of people do it, but, like, there's not, like, a ticket. So if it's worth it, well, yeah, because you're going to see a bunch of crazy, or not crazy, but different countries that are around Lake Buena Vista there. And you just go into each country, and they have drinks. Like, you can go to Mexico and get margaritas. You can go to Japan and get sake. Stop in Norway. They have a little log ride in that one. Germany has an all-you-can-eat beer hall buffet lunch. I don't know if 20-something girls are into that. Stop in France. So they have slushies with either Grand Marnier or Grey Goose. Ooh. And then it ends in England. If you make it to England, you're still standing. You did all right.
Okay.
I like how you explain that. It's fun to do. It's not a, quote, Disney activity.
Maybe I read his email, but he was like, is it worth it? That's why I'm like, oh, yeah, definitely go to Epcot and do this. But, like, Disney is not
right. They're not encouraging you to, hey, go get hammered.
No. But it is funny, like, right, because England's, like, at the end. And if you start in England, you should start in Mexico. But if you start in England, like, you could tell who's been doing this with their buddies and who hasn't. And the scared children.
As far as what woke you up, bitches catching up on the podcast on the Odyssey app, and what woke me up from my sleeping time this past Sunday, woke up to an electrical fire in my house. Luckily got the fire extinguisher on it quick enough, but absolutely no power. We are now in a hotel until it's fixed. You guys rock. That from Andy. Do you guys have a fire extinguisher in your home?
I don't think I do, man. And it's one of those things where we should get a fire extinguisher. And we've probably been saying that for 9 years.
I do, but it's been hanging on the wall there since 2005, so I'm not exactly sure it'll still work.
Well, you'll find out if you have a fire. You can't just, like, test fire and put the pin back in, right?
Have you ever test fired a fire extinguisher?
Oh, yeah.
I've never done that. I swear to God,
I've used it for real, but not...
Yeah, I've used it for real. I don't think you can test fire, can you?
How did you use it? What was the situation?
My car caught on fire. You were there.
Oh, that's right.
No, you weren't there.
Right.
The restaurant on fire. The rooftop.
Oh, yes. You just pulled the pin.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, it's on fire. Like, big enough. Not huge, but it made a difference. It's the first time I've ever used one. I'm like, these goddamn things work.
Mike?
I was detailing a van that had one hooked up in the back door, and I just squeezed the handle, and the damn thing blew all over the ground. God, it stinks so bad.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure once you use them. Do you guys remember the old ones that had water in them? Like the big silver tanks?
Yes.
I don't know if they have them anymore, but when I was coaching basketball camp up at Frostburg, we would get wasted, and then we would jam those underneath the door and hit them and spray water all over people that were sleeping. Other coaches,
right.
not children.
Not the kids.
Right. No.
Never.
And,
No. They kept us in a separate spot.
As far as what did I almost cut off? Olabacholas. I was 3 or 4. I was put in a metal mesh baby prison to play by myself. Well, the metal crisscrossing bars were perfect for me to climb. Being naked, midway up the climb, my penis got stuck in the V of 2 of the crossing metal bars. But I just kept on climbing. At some point, I stopped and started to cry. That's when my mom found me and saw what I had done. It had started to cut, but it didn't go all the way through. No permanent damage, but I still, at 42, have a scar. Love what you guys do. That from Jason.
Now, the men's room wants to know, who sucks less?
Yay, time for Who Sucks Last. Steve O'Toole, you bring us 3 stories from the news each and every week. They all suck, but it's up to us to determine, out of the 3 stories, which one actually sucks the least. Now, if you happen to follow KISW on Twitter, the debate is already underway on Who Sucks Less.
And I want to say 2 of these 3 stories, at least, we have at least covered in Mike's headlines. But we go a little international. We have a story in Florida, and then we'll go to Canada, where you perceive people in Canada as being nice. Apparently not always. And then we will finish in lovely Mississippi. So we start, well, I guess technically we start in Connecticut. But as the story goes, a Connecticut teacher left her 2 children at home alone while she vacationed with her boyfriend in Florida. The woman told the children to stay out of sight, stay in the basement, and just eat candy for dinner. Sounds like a childhood dream until you realize your parents physically are not there.
She also made them crawl in the dark on their hands and knees to go use the bathroom or get something out of the upstairs area so that no one would know that there was anyone home.
Yeah, we'll get to that. One Casey Kavyaska, she was arrested on reckless endangerment and risk of injury in connection with her 3-day trip to Florida back in late November. Now, police began investigating after her ex-husband reported that she had left the children, who, by the way, were ages 9 and 11. That's my kid's age. So I'm picturing an 11 and a 9-year-old. Dear God. Anyway, the ex-husband provided cops with a series of incriminating texts that she exchanged with her children while she was out of town. Quote, "Both of you stay in the basement. Just stay downstairs." Then finally one child asks, "Are we going into school?" She replies, "No." Keep in mind, she's a teacher. When one of the children asks, "What are we going to have for dinner?" Keep in mind, she's already left. And the kids say, "What are we going to have for dinner?" She says, "Just eat candy. I'm sorry. And then whatever else is downstairs, I'll make it up to you." Now, the cops charge that the children wanted to stay out of... Sorry, the cops are saying that she wanted the children to stay out of sight in the basement. When one of the kids asked, "Can I pee?" she replied, "Quick, no lights." Then after one of the children wrote, "I'm sad. I put my batteries upstairs." That's when the mom suggested the child could go upstairs, but do it, quote, super fast, stay low so that no one sees you. Now, when police finally confronted her, she admitted to spending a weekend in Florida with her boyfriend, but she claimed that her brother had stayed with the children. Both kids, however, told the cops that they were left home unsupervised. One of the children saying that, quote, only their dog was with them. Anyway, her son told police that the mother left snacks to eat and that she ordered Uber Eats for the children several times. The boy recalled that his mother advised, quote, not to go upstairs and, again, to stay in the basement. Jeez, for 3 days, man. She didn't have food set aside. I mean, think about that.
Right.
If you're going to leave your children, you would think, it's a bad idea, you'd at least have food. The kids had to text her, like, what's for dinner? She's like, oh, damn, eat candy.
Like, why wouldn't you leave food?
Why would you leave it?
Peanut butter and jelly. I mean, like anything.
Right, I know, it's a bad idea, but at least,
what I'm saying is, just,
dear God,
you can make bad decisions, but the kids got to eat.
Yeah. Now let's go to Winnipeg, Canada, where a woman whose vehicle becomes stuck in a snowbank, well, she was carjacked by the same person who offered to help get it out. The woman was in her 60s. She was offered help by a so-called Good Samaritan at around 9 p.m. on a Friday. Police say the suspect then carjacked a woman at knife point and fled in the car. Now, the woman was not physically injured, but obviously very upset.
Why do you need to take out a knife on a 60-year-old woman?
You don't. Police located the vehicle with a male driver inside. Roughly 20 minutes later, the suspect had entered a nearby house. Well, she was taken into custody, and that suspect is one Jordan Moore. She's been charged with robbery, and the dude remains in custody.
That's not very Canadian.
That's what I'm saying.
That's about the most un-Canadian story I've ever heard.
They're probably from the States. And finally, we go to Mississippi.
It's not like he said he hates hockey. He just robbed an old lady.
A county jail in Tupelo, Mississippi got a fax, because they still use fax machines there, got a fax that said one of the inmates was up for release. And that's how they normally do it, so the fax itself was not weird. But they did notice a few, quote, irregularities with the request. So they called the courthouse it came from to make sure it was legit. The people at the courthouse, they didn't know what the hell anyone was talking about because they didn't send it. So the cops did some digging, and they realized who did. They figured out that the number that the fax came from had been spoofed, so it looked like it came from the court, but it actually came from the inmate's girlfriend, 28-year-old Stephanie House. Well, she was arrested last week and confessed to sending the fake fax to get her boyfriend out of jail. She's now facing fraud charges, and they also found drug paraphernalia, so they tacked on a charge for that, too. So there you go. We have the mother/teacher who left her 9 and 11-year-old kids at home for 3 days while she went to Florida on vacation. We have the woman in Canada who offered to help an older woman get her car to a snowbank and then stole her car. And finally, the woman in Mississippi who tried to convince the local jail there to release her inmate boyfriend.
Do we know? We don't know what the inmate boyfriend was in for.
I don't know what he's in for.
But he is in jail.
I mean, they found drug paraphernalia on her. I'm guessing it was some drug related, but I truly have no idea. See, for my money,
I think she sucks the least.
I agree.
I think the woman in Mississippi attempting to trick the local prison. Look, it didn't work.
Did not work.
You know what I mean? She was arrested. Boyfriend's still in jail. She's a moron.
Sure.
I mean, I don't know if that was their combined plan, but either way, I think that one sucks the least, Dave.
But she didn't do anything good for anybody.
What do you mean, facts, lady?
Right, it's like the mom who left the kids home, that's bad.
Yes.
I will say, though, I feel like secretly that's an 11-year-old's fantasy. If you could go upstairs and just video game and watch TV.
It's the Home Alone moment.
Mm-hmm. Right. Now, the fact that you've locked him in the bank, because I was feeling this one out. You said some Uber Eats, but then it's like they got a army crawl to get upstairs to pee. Like, that's where I draw the line. So that's bad. The woman in Mississippi, like, she did no good, though. This was just two wrongs.
Yeah. I mean, she happens to be stupid, but yeah.
This Canadian fella, while carjacking an older woman is terrible. Also, she'd still be stuck in that ditch or that snowbank if he hadn't helped her. Who knows what could have happened to her? She could have been in grave danger. A snow truck could have plowed right over her. So now he's arrested. She has her car. It's not in a snowbank. I think his evens out. He sucks the list.
Okay.
Least.
Jeff on Twitter says, I have to go with the woman in Mississippi sending the fax. The other two had victims. Jim says, got to go with the Mississippi woman. The faxing woman again. She only wanted to do what she could to be with her man. No one hurt or mentally scarred. And Sean says, never blame a Mississippi woman. Debate continues on Who Sucks Less if you follow KISW on Twitter. You are listening to The Men's Room.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
All right, coming up in minutes, we'll drink a little toast with the shot of the day. And we do have your headlines on the way 1 hour from now. But first, quick check-in with Mike Hawk and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
All right, bad news. Jensen new study found that cell phones could have a damaging effect on a man's groin area.
In what way?
I believe it would cause a little infertility. Just based on the radiation that's going on around there.
Okay, it's cool.
Might go ahead and...
yeah, I don't care anymore.
So take the phone out of your pocket? Is that the advice?
I believe so. Okay. I just don't know where you need to put it. I mean, maybe in your back pocket as long as you take it out before you sit down.
Just strap it on your head. What could possibly go wrong?
Hell yeah. Get one of those little armbands so that you just build a mast there on your arm. You're all good to go. A noisy neighbor in the UK was fined for blasting Whitney Houston, Rihanna, and Madonna.
It's the Madonna that would have pissed me off.
Right. I'll take everything else.
I'll deal with everything on Madonna. No.
Get the Madonna out of there. Can we at least tone down the Madonna?
Where was he at?
The UK.
What time of day was it?
My guess is just during the day, to be honest with you, Ted. I haven't...
You're not working on it.
I haven't dove that far into it, but...
That's always kind of my thing. Right? Like, I don't know. If it's like during the day, it's like, all right, that's annoying, but...
Right,
you let it go. Yeah. I get it.
Certainly if there's no real frequency to it. You know, if you're just jamming out one day, cleaning the house, cool, have at it, but...
Yeah.
But not Madonna.
But now you got to issue a fine. That tells me, I hope, that somebody had gone to this neighbor, complained, like, hey, do you mind just turning it down from time to time? And this neighbor had to be belligerent about it.
I bet you that's not what happened.
You're probably right.
Yeah. Something like that. Fruity Pebbles is about to release Pebbles Shake-Ups. It's a new snack that features a combination of cereals.
It just depends if they work together.
I mean, they're doing that with a lot of cereals now. Have you seen the giant Fruit Loops? They're like giant, but they're like that big.
Ooh.
So like you don't even put them in milk. They're literally just like
it's
just like a bag of chip, like a grab bag of chips that you're just going to sit there and snack on.
I'm not gonna lie, man. Fruity Pebbles was a staple cereal when I was growing up. The commercials were left and right when I was a kid, but I never liked Fruity Pebbles.
I'm not a big fan of fruity cereals. Miles, I know you love them.
I like Fruity Pebbles. That's it. That's the only one. Other than that, no.
The Cocoa Pebbles were about as good as I got, but even then I wasn't a big fan of the Cocoa cereals.
No kidding. We talk about Captain Crunch all the time.
Sure. We sure do.
But Peanut Butter Crunch, Captain Crunch, I know it takes the skin off the top of your mouth.
Oh, it's delicious.
But I still think it's a fantastic cereal.
I love it, man.
The Crunch Man knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
He did.
Whatever he introduced, it was good.
Just let the cereal sit in your milk for a little while longer. Let it soften up. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I never cared for Fruity Pebbles as a kid, but love them when they come in a bar.
Right, you like those?
That's the thing. I like them featured in different things. Like if they sprinkle it on top of a donut, they're legendary donuts or something like that. Cool, I'm down with your Fruity Pebbles, but it's just traditionally with them in milk. I'm not a fan. A new survey found the average attempt to go vegetarian lasts. How long do you guys think it lasts?
20 minutes.
People say I'm going to go vegetarian.
I'll say 3 weeks.
A week.
3 weeks, 1 week. Ted Smith,
I'll say a month and a half.
3 months.
3 months. Nice.
3 months. Because, you're gung-ho with it. And I think by week 3, you're starting to see the pitfalls. You're like, okay, I knew that this was going to be tough, but we're going to stick it through. I think that second month is just all ornery.
What do you think the tipping point for people is? Like, I don't know, you pull in someplace, you smell bacon.
My guess is that within 3 months, there is some sort of meat-eating holiday that happens. You get the 4th of July. You get, throughout baseball season, you got hot dogs all around.
Then it's football season.
Right. There's something nice about just being able to cook up a burger real quick or go grab a burger real quick. Honestly, I think it's just the convenience of meat.
I think sometimes, too, if you haven't done something for that long and you try to cut it out, like all of a sudden you're just going to want that thing.
Yes.
So you're saying, like, kind of slowly ease yourself off of it.
I feel like that's what every...
I don't know.
I mean, they say it like with smoking, right? Like, instead of just going cold turkey, reduce, then you get to the point you don't need it. Gives me an idea for a product. Instead of Chantix, it's Meat Tix.
There you go.
Yeah,
I'm Ray Liotta. I went vegetarian. I chew Meat Tix gun.
Like, I think like people that are like trying to cut down on carbs or whatever, they're like, I don't know what it is now. I just want bread. It's like, yes, you can't, because you can't have it.
Right. That's exactly.
So now you want it.
I feel like that's what every dietitian says. Every good one says, don't cut anything out of your diet completely.
Right.
Find alternatives. Try not to want it as much. Maybe cut down on your portions. Don't eliminate anything from it because, like you said, that's only going to cause cravings and then a massive crash later on down the road.
Yeah, I had a friend when she was pregnant. It is very rare that I've seen her drink a beer. When she was pregnant, like 6 months in, I was like, how you doing? She was like, I'm dying for a beer.
Yes.
I was like, you mean like a drink? She's like, no, I'm fine not drinking. She's like, whatever reason, like, when I'm watching you guys drink those damn beers, it was like summertime. She was like, I want a beer.
What a shotgun this doggone thing.
Yeah.
Give me a beer. 2 out of 3 parents say that their kids go sledding without a helmet. I didn't know that kids went sledding with a helmet.
Yeah, I did not know either.
Either did I. I know snowboarding, skiing, but I would never, like, full disclosure, I would never think to put a helmet on a kid to go sledding.
Maybe we should, but no, it never crossed my mind.
Well, that was kind of what they were bringing up, was like, is it dangerous or normal that 2 out of 3 kids are not wearing helmets when they're sledding?
It's probably both of those things.
Right.
I mean, it just depends on, like, we didn't wear seatbelts when we were growing up, and it's stupid looking back, but it wasn't a thing. Cars had seatbelts. No one brought it up. Your parents didn't even bring. You rode in the bed of a truck, and it's like, right, it's normal. It's probably dangerous, but it.
Right.
I mean, I guess in theory you could just throw on their bike helmets, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
But.
Or put their sledding helmet on when they ride the bike. Your choice.
Isn't it also circumstantial to how big the hill is? I mean, obviously, you're going to look for a gnarly hill to go sledding down, and if you're looking for a dangerous one, then you're not going to wear a helmet in the first place.
Like, you don't see that many helmets on blue and greens. I don't think.
Right.
Or what? I always forget what's first, green or blue.
Green.
So green. You don't, but like as people start getting better, it's like, all right, you got to put a helmet on.
Right.
It's never a bad idea. It's the people that are coming behind you.
Yeah.
There's a guy on trial right now for flying down a slope in the Alps.
Oh, yeah.
And he killed like a 9-year-old girl or a 5-year-old girl.
Oh, God.
Because he was flying, he wasn't paying any attention. They were in a instructional group with a teacher, and they were basically just following the teacher as they were, doing their snowplows and stuff. He came up and just killed her.
Barreled right through her.
So, I think if you're out there, helmet's always a better call than not. Even if you fall and just hit the back of your head.
No,
you're
right.
Yeah.
Right.
You just don't think about it. My kid said I want to go sledding. Be like, well,
that would not be what I would
let's
think
get
about.
a sled.
Yeah,
but I would not like be
gloves,
dressed warm.
you need a hat.
All that crap.
I lived on the hill for sledding in Enumclaw for 20 years, and I don't think I ever saw a single helmet out there when they were sledding.
No. Matter of fact, if you go a ski resort that has a tubing facility or like a sled park, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't. You're not wearing a helmet. I mean, no one is.
Right.
No one is.
Exactly.
You talking about the meat patch?
No.
Oh, sorry. I was looking at it. Somebody said, man, instead of your meat Tix, maybe if you want to go vegetarian, have the meat patch.
There you go. Now the one right above it.
Oh.
A new study found that Americans read an average of 17 reviews before booking a vacation.
Reviews of the hotel, the area, I guess everything in general.
That's what I'm thinking, right? You want to make sure that you're going to the right area, that the hotel is not going to rip you off. Yeah, all that fun stuff.
Do you?
No, I don't read a doggone thing. I honestly
like if I know I'm going somewhere, like I'll look up. You saw, like before I went to Milwaukee, I'll look. Once we decided we were going there, we're like, let's go to Milwaukee.
Right.
Then I'll start looking at bars and restaurants I want to frequent.
Exactly.
But you're exactly right.
For me, when it comes to hotels, I tend to stick to name brands. You know, I could go Airbnb. I could reach out and maybe find a cheaper hotel that doesn't follow the name brand, but I know what I'm getting. Yeah, it might not be the pinnacle, but it's going to be a bed to sleep in.
I don't want to do Airbnb because you're going to be judged. And no one's going to come in and clean after the hotel. I mean, not that I'm disastrous, but like, I'm going to have clean sheets.
Right.
I get fresh. I don't have to do it. I truly feel like I'm on vacation. I don't have to do anything.
Right. Now, I might need somebody to say, yeah, you don't want to stay at the neighborhood, man. You need to go on to this side of the city. Because I'm very, very ignorant on that part of my geography. Apparently, there's a new condom that 1 in 6 men say makes sex better.
Ooh.
All right.
It had a bunch of different stuff that I'd never heard of.
Oh, yeah? Like what?
Well, there's a cream on the inside that has the same active ingredient as Viagra, I guess.
Starts with it on the inside?
But it's a topical cream.
Oh, no S.
So I guess when you put the condom on,
just increases some circulation down there.
I guess so. And then I guess the feel of it is better than most condoms.
Yeah, why not?
So,
Miles, are you ready for this?
Yes.
McDonald's is selling a chicken Big Mac.
They had that in Puerto Rico when I was there.
And they're bringing it to the UK. It's not going to be here.
Oh. Why?
How you gonna do dirty,
That
Mike?
sounds like a doggone great thing.
Ted, that shredded lettuce works really well on a grill on a breaded chicken sandwich.
Yes.
Yeah, like that's with a Thousand Island dressing, whatever, secret sauce.
I believe their McChicken
I think that's
has
fantastic.
shredded lettuce on it.
Smiles.
What?
Why did they should start?
I think secret sauce. Don't out it for what it is. It's a secret.
They should start selling that again. Mac sauce.
Mac sauce.
I can't believe you can't go and order it.
What, Mac sauce?
No, just order that Big Mac with chicken.
right.
Sub chicken. That's all. That's all you got to do is say sub chicken, right?
You might be able to. You know what? Crazier things have happened at a McDonald's drive-thru, I'd imagine.
I think a lot of crazy things have happened.
No chance.
You don't think you could do it?
No.
Bet.
Why not?
You're in line
what
at
do you think
McDonald's right
Well,
now.
just because like a burger at McDonald's, they're kind of famous because they're so tiny and
Right.
thin. I feel like the McChicken's a little thicker.
Sure.
Like, I feel like you're getting more. I don't think it's an equal swap.
Well, they're going to
they
charge
probably
you for
charge
it.
you for it.
It's the smaller chicken sandwich that you would use the patties for.
The little McChicken.
Yeah.
I know what the McChicken is.
Okay. My bad.
Also, listen. I'm working the line. I got you two jackasses in the drive-through special ordering. Right? This is McDonald's. You get what we give you.
Yeah.
Do you
I
have
know.
a vegan option?
I've been that guy before. Can I get 3 tomatoes placed evenly on the top bun? No, you get 1 tomato, doggone it.
Yeah.
Jackass. Wallet Hub has ranked the states on how well they provide, quote, positive driving experiences. The site factored in everything from traffic congestion to road quality to cost of maintaining your vehicle. And lucky for you guys, I have the top 10 and the bottom 10 states for driving.
I would guess like Wyoming, Montana, places where there's not a lot of traffic. The scenery's beautiful.
Not a bad car.
New Mexico.
Right, like no one's trying
Drive
to
80,
stay in places in Montana and Idaho and all that, but everyone says beautiful.
Right.
I had to drive through blank, and you're right, New Mexico, there's nowhere you want to go.
Ted, any guesses on the best states for driving?
Best states. Man, I'm trying to think of somewhere I've been like, God damn, these are nice roads. I don't know. I'll go with them. Just open wide spaces.
Alrighty, since we got 20 to go through, I'll give you guys the honorable mentions here for the best states. Number 10, Indiana. 9, Illinois. Tennessee, Wisconsin, and Georgia made the bottom of the top 10 best states to drive in.
Okay.
Number 5 being Texas, with a 60.57 overall score out of 100.
Disagree. You can drive very fast there, and it's not a slight on Texas itself, but just it is a massive state, but the scenery is not anything that, you know what I mean? Like if you're going to be stuck in a state forever, like Montana,
sure,
everyone at least drives out of there going, God damn, that is beautiful, beautiful country. Sure. Texas is not that.
And the major cities, the beltways.
Right.
I mean, like you said, in Houston, you're driving an hour to go anywhere.
Anywhere.
Dallas, the beltway, which looks exactly like a penis.
It does too.
I mean, you can go 85 miles an hour on it.
Gotcha.
They built the beltway in Dallas to look exactly like a penis.
Literally.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you look at it, you're like, there's no way this is an accident.
Number 4, North Carolina. I've never driven in North Carolina, so I can't speak on that one.
Disagree.
I hate driving in North Carolina.
Well, it's tough too. Is it's roads like states like North Carolina outside of like the high, like, you know what I mean? Like I've been in that state a bunch, but generally kind of cruising through or somewhere right off of 95.
I gotcha. Number 3, Kansas. Again, these are the best states for driving.
Man,
Well, it's flat.
Right?
it is flat, but man, the scenery again. If you don't fall asleep at the wheel,
Miles and miles of miles and miles.
of nothing. Yeah,
Yes, sir. Number 2, Oklahoma.
been to Oklahoma.
All right.
It's better looking than Texas. Still not a great drive.
Is that it on the left over there?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. You are not joking, man.
Total penis.
And then this is the best state for driving, receiving a modest 62.04 overall score out of 100, Iowa.
Really?
I hope you like corn.
Yeah, I was like, man, I've been so far the states you've named. I've been in the car, and it is you can go fast, and that's the best part because you want to get the hell out of there.
Now let's go to the worst states for
I was
driving.
going to say, I'd put Montana in there. It is, to this day, the most beautiful drive I've ever
That's
been
all
on
I'm
my
saying.
life.
Right.
Rolling hills, man. Beautiful countryside out there.
Rivers,
Animals all
like-
over. Rivers.
Like, no cars, no people.
And if there are cars, they know how to drive.
Exactly.
If you come up on a car, it is in the right-hand lane. There is nobody floating in that left lane.
So the worst states, I'll say Pennsylvania.
Not a bad call. Again, they're factoring in everything from traffic congestion,
Pennsylvania.
road quality,
Pennsylvania.
cost of maintaining your vehicle.
Pennsylvania.
Virginia.
That's not a bad call either, man.
Okay, the bottom 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. So the bottom 5 are Wyoming with an overall score of 52.31, Missouri, Michigan, Colorado, and right here in Washington State. Make the
What, 10 through 6, as it were?
right best of the of the bottom 5, as it were. Number 46 on the list of 50, Maryland, coming in at a score of 48.54.
That's fair. Yeah.
Just bad congestion out there. Is it just
It's not
dangerous
big
driving out
enough
there?
for as long as it takes to get through that state. Like, geographically, it is a
Gotcha.
tiny spot, and the traffic is effed up everywhere.
Nope.
Constantly.
Good
And
time.
the streets of Baltimore look like the surface of the moon.
Ooh,
Like, we stopped
craters
calling them
everywhere.
potholes. We're like, no, they're craters now.
God. Number 47, California.
California.
It's actually a two-way tie with California and Delaware, both having a score of 48.
Yes.
How could Delaware have? It's so small. Fix your roads.
But it's still
You only have there's like 7 roads.
4 hours to get anywhere. Seriously,
Yeah.
I mean, Delaware's, it's a teeny, tiny, your
For being a state the
backyard
size of Tacoma.
is big, right? And somehow you're stuck in traffic. But it's surrounded by Philly, New Jersey. I mean, there's a lot of people in that.
Sure,
area.
massive cities in every direction that you're going, and
Yep.
everybody's trying to get in and out.
Well,
of it.
and it's got a great coastline, but everybody, like, generally, if I'm in Delaware, it's the summertime, I'm going to the beach with 100,000 other people.
And it takes 4 hours to get there.
Worst Georgetown in America, Georgetown, Delaware.
And then California being on that list, I gotta say, it's as high up as it is just based on the rest of California. But when you get into the nitty gritty cities of California, it is an absolute nightmare.
It absolutely is.
Hey. Number 49 on the worst states to drive, Rhode Island. We're sticking
It's,
right out there on
again,
the East
so
Coast.
small.
But you're just surrounded by all those people and all those people that want to take up residence in these places for tax purposes, etc. It just makes the roads suck, man.
Funny enough, Pennsylvania is not on my list here.
Then they did not go there.
You
I
have
mean-
no idea what you're talking about.
I
then.
cannot explain the pain that it is to drive through Pennsylvania. It is the worst.
Pennsylvania does suck to drive in.
It does.
But this is the worst. This right there is the worst state for driving, based on everything from traffic congestion, road quality, cost of maintaining the vehicle, emphasis on the cost of fixing your vehicle. Hawaii.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Takes
Right,
a long
right.
time to get to places there, too.
Sure.
Yes.
Shockingly enough.
Well, because,
it's all tourists.
Yeah.
All tour, yeah.
It's all tourist, or you're driving 50 miles to get to the next, offshoot of the main road.
Yeah, and you also know for a fact, because really there's only 4 different types of rental cars.
The
In Hawaii.
Sebring, the Jeep.
Yeah, and you'll in the Camaro.
Right.
You will see these cars everywhere. Everywhere.
And no one in Hawaii is buying them.
No.
It's all the rentals.
I don't know if they've changed how bad it was at the beginning of the
I hope they
pandemic
got
as
rid
far
of
as
the
the
Sebring.
cost of renting a car there, but a lot of their people were going and getting U-Hauls and renting U-Hauls for a week.
It was cheaper.
Just to get around, yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious. A man in Florida was arrested after making threats to employees, but you'll never guess what he was upset about.
What was he upset about?
Tell you all about it at 5:50.
All right, thank you, Mike Hawk. Headlines are coming up at 5:50. In the meantime, it's going to contest it on the line for Profile This at 206-421-ROCK. All right, we made it to drinking time.